Okay, so here's going to be video number 1 of the trying to gather my videos that I accidentally went and deleted. So this video, I'm just making coffee. So video number 1 is going to be the quick overview and the doings of my nitro stampede, which I said I would make a video about. So don't mind it being dark in here. It is 5 o'clock in the morning and I have not slept yet. Yay. The same pathetic fucking sleep schedule that I've been on for like the last 2 years. So, here's my nitro stampede. Originally it's supposed to be a Pro 15 engine, which is right over there. And then I went and, well, I've had a couple of these vehicles over the last couple years, and I've always sold them all. I've never actually kept any of them. The last one that I actually kept, I had JATO wheels on it like this. I had a JATO style exhaust, and I had a 2.5R engine in it. That was the only one that I actually kept for any significant amount of time. Then I picked this roller up, or well, it had the engine, but it was still kind of a roller, I guess. But then I picked this one up for like 50 bucks, and I'm like, okay, I guess we'll give it a shot, but I don't know if I'm gonna keep it. And I was even about to sell the thing too. I was about ready to list it up on Facebook. I was about to put it for sale and everything. And then I came across a nitro rustler on eBay that had some cool looking tires on it, and I'm like, wait a minute, I wonder if I can do this to my nitro stampede, since they're kind of the same thing. Since I'm kind of, I mean, I like the JATO tires on here, but this car's not very good at top speed. It's only really good at low speed and torque. So I thought to myself, well, this would be perfect for it. So there's still stuff that needs to be done to this thing, obviously, but I went ahead and decided to keep it. I went and threw on a decent 3.3 engine, and I do have a JATO exhaust on here, but this is excuse me, this is the double chamber version of it, just like the Revo pipes. So it's not as loud, and the low end torque's not as crazy as what it could be. But there's a general look over of the Stampede, and yes, that's a Revo 3.3 gas tank. I have it mounted on there with one screw going up inside the little mounting hole that plastic piece bolts onto underneath. So the things I want to do to this car still is I want to put waterproof servos in it. I do have some, but, well, actually not anymore because I just tossed them onto that. But I do have one more sitting around, but this one needs a gear kit replacement. I don't know if I'm going to do digital 2075X or 2075s, or if I'm going to do the 2075 non-digital version. But I want waterproof servos on it, that way I can easily clean the vehicle once I'm done running it, because as you can tell, it gets pretty nasty, especially up in the gas tank area. So yeah, it's gonna, and I don't want it to turn into a disastrous mess, because then my tolerance, I guess you could say, for it becomes even lower, and then it just makes me want to get rid of it even faster. So kind of weird how I am like that, but that's how it is. So there's an overview of the car. Well, before we move on real quick, in order for the front wheels to work, in order for the front wheels to work that I'm looking at, I will have to replace these axle, I don't know if you can really call them axle carriers, but I'll have to replace the lower A arms and all of this stuff in order to take a hex style wheel hub or whatever, like the back. So I will have to do that in order for the tires I'm looking at to work in the front. So there's the quick overview of the car. And then these are the tires that I picked up. Which are Duratrax Stalker MT tires. And basically they look like the big fat tire, the big fat rear tire of a dirt bike. That's why I wanted to go for them, because I like that look. And it makes sense too, because the way that nitro stampede is, it only makes sense to have wheels and tires like this on it. Since it's not really built for speed, it's more or less great for low-end torque and just shredding dirt like this. So, yeah, there's the tires. The front set will be similar, only they'll be slimmer. It's still generally that same type of tread. But I'm gonna keep this video quick. I got a lot of videos to do, so I might even be able to re-upload some too if I still have them in my camera roll, but I don't know if I do or not. I know I have a update video on my RPM T-Max. I can put that back out or whatever. I can put that video back up. So there is the first start at trying to get some of my videos back on YouTube, because like a dumbass I accidentally deleted about 30-some videos. Using YouTube on a laptop is definitely different. I'll just say that. Not used to it. Clicking the wrong shit, thinking it's gonna do something else, or thinking it's gonna bring up like a selection page or something, and here it doesn't. It just flat out fucking does something. So there's that. To the next video.